In this video, we're going to work on the ALEKS problem called Identifying Hydrogen Bonding Interactions Between Molecules. This problem is going to give us three different molecules, and it's asking us two questions. It's first asking, can the molecule hydrogen bond with another identical molecule between two molecules of the same compound? So this problem right here is asking us, can this molecule hydrogen bond with another identical molecule? Second question it's asking us is, can the molecule hydrogen bond with water? So saying, can this molecule hydrogen bond with water? Now, before we start working on these, let's take a look at the criteria necessary for hydrogen bonding. In order to hydrogen bond, we need to have two molecules. I'm just going to call them molecule number 1 and molecule number 2. Molecule number 1 needs to either have an oxygen atom or a nitrogen atom or a fluorine atom. So one of the molecules has to have any one of these three atoms. Molecule number 2 needs to have a hydrogen that's bonded to an oxygen, or a hydrogen bonded to a nitrogen, or a hydrogen bonded to a fluorine. Now, just to be clear, it doesn't have to match up perfectly. Like, for example, by that I mean molecule number 1, if it has an oxygen, it can hydrogen bond with a molecule that has a hydrogen-nitrogen bond. We don't have to match the oxygens with oxygens or the nitrogens with nitrogens. We just need to have one of our molecules containing any one of these three atoms and our other molecule containing any one of these three bonds. So let's look at this molecule right here, and I'm actually going to draw it a little bit bigger, this dimethyl ether molecule. The first question is asking us, can this molecule hydrogen bond with another identical molecule? So we're considering, can these two, spread this out a little bit, can these two molecules hydrogen bond with each other? Now, in order for that to be possible, one of these molecules needs to meet the criteria for being molecule number 1, and the other needs to meet the criteria for being molecule number 2. This molecule has a hydrogen atom, or excuse me, an oxygen atom, so it is meeting the criteria for being molecule number 1. Does this molecule have an OH, NH, or HF bond? We can see that it has CH bonds, but it doesn't have any one of these. So that means that these two molecules are not capable of hydrogen bonding with each other because it does not contain or meet the criteria for being molecule number 2. Now the problem is also asking, can the molecule hydrogen bond with water? So let me draw a water molecule over here. Draw this guy. Can these two hydrogen bond with each other? Well, still, we have molecule number 1 over here meeting the criteria of having an oxygen atom, and the water molecule has the OH bond, so it meets the criteria for being molecule number 2, and that means that yes, dimethyl ether can hydrogen bond with water. Let's take a look at the next example. We have methanol, which looks like this. And the first thing that we're asking ourselves is, can methanol hydrogen bond with a second identical methanol molecule? We have, for molecule number 1, it is meeting the criteria of having an oxygen atom right there, so that's perfect. And molecule number 2, it's meeting the criteria of having an OH bond. So that means, yes, these two molecules can hydrogen bond with water, with each other, and they can also hydrogen bond with water as well. And last but not least, we have an example difluoromethane where it's giving us the molecular formula, but it's not giving us the Lewis structure. You can't make any predictions about hydrogen bonding just by looking at the molecular formula. You really need to draw out the Lewis structure. So I'm going to sketch this. If you're not familiar with drawing the Lewis structures, you can just look it up on the internet. Just Google Lewis structure of CH2F2 and you're going to get it. It's going to be provided for you. So do these two molecules have what it takes to hydrogen bond with each other? Molecule on the left has a fluorine right there, so it's meeting the criteria for being molecule number 1. Molecule on the right does not have any one of these three types of bonds. It has a CF bond, has a CH bond, but it does not have an HF bond. So that means no, it cannot hydrogen bond with an identical molecule. Can it hydrogen bond with water? Let's take a look at that. We've got the fluorine atom, and then we also have an HO bond, so that means we're meeting the criteria for being molecule number 1 and also molecule number 2, and that's a yes. They can hydrogen bond with water.